Hello everyone, this is Jeff. This video is about advanced movement and using the Move Path tool in After Effects. It's the third video in a series that was started developing original graphics in Illustrator and importing them into After Effects. The second video was about using a MP3 file to look at the waveforms in that MP3 file and create keyframes on the beat. And this is the third one that's going to start actually animating those graphics. So the first thing I want you to take note on is make sure you have this function selected. Right here, this is a toggle mask that shows the shape and visibility tool. So you'll see on occasion as you move around that these boxes might disappear. And making sure if they disappear, this toggle map will make sure that they are visible. So right now it's visible because I can see that anchor point tool, or see that anchor point. So what I want to do is I want to actually animate each one of these keyframes to get some advanced motion. So the first thing I'm going to do is, of course, start on the first keyframe. The first keyframe I want to stay the same because I need a base point, or I need a starting point. So I'm going to go to the second keyframe, and I have both the current time indicator so I can see what I'm doing and that keyframe selected. And I'm going to be on position, so all I need to do is sit and drag, and I am dragging my diamond pattern to its next spot. Okay, that's good. And you can see that as I was dragging, it created this path. This is the move path. The move path actually shows you this is a keyframe, that is a keyframe. It'll have like a little square at each keyframe. Then all these kind of little tiny little dots in between are actually the frame animation. So that's going to help you. Well, as we draw, you'll see that this gets manipulated. Okay, so I'm going to jump to the next keyframe and select not only to look at it, the current time indicator, but I've selected it. And so I'm also going to move it. And notice it's still moving from the beginning. So here I'm moving it to this next part, and I'm going to move it down here. Now, a good thing to note is it's actually kind of not straight paths. After Effects kind of assumes you want some smooth motion, and I think what we're going to do is change that, or at least have you understand how to change that. So the next thing I'm going to do, of course, is move the current time indicator, select that keyframe, and then again reposition that layer so that I have a third stop right there. And that should create a little cycle. So I'm going to play it. I know this is not exactly what I want, but it's a good place to start. And what I'm seeing is this is kind of a little more of a circular pattern than I wanted. The nice part is that because we've brought up that move path, we're going to be able to adjust things. So this move path is a path like in Illustrator. And if you look at this up here, the pin tool, and here the shortcut is G, pin tool weirdly is G, you'll have a lot of the same functions you have in Illustrator. The pin tool will allow you to draw, and we will start drawing first later. We can add vertex and delete vertexes, and when you add and subtract a vertex, it actually adds and subtracts keyframes wherever you are in the timeline. You can also convert vertex tool. And if you recall in Illustrator, what that does is it removes at first these little handles. So that's a quick tour. Let's actually kind of play with it some. So here I can go through and I can select these different keyframes / anchor points on my move path. And you can see they have these little extra handles. And these little extra handles are these Bezier handles. They're exactly as they are in Illustrator. So with these with these 4 keyframes, I could actually alter this so it could be a totally round experience, but that's actually not what I want. What I really want is I want them to be super square. So while selecting these reveals the Bezier handles, uh, I also want to I want to remove them. So in Illustrator, and this is the same in After Effects, there's the Convert Anchor Point tool. And the Convert Anchor Point tool, if you have a keyframe or you have a vertex here that has handles, the first thing you do, if you click on it, it will remove them. Now, if you have a keyframe that doesn't have handles, you can click on it and then draw them. So I don't want these because I want a very square mechanical motion. So I'm going to click on each one of these and get rid of all the, I need to select that last point. There we go. So I'm just going to get rid. So now all my animations are going to be really straight. And I might just take a moment to make sure this feels like a square. Yeah, I think that seems pretty good. So now when I play this, it has a much more mechanical sort of view. But still, in my opinion, it seems to, it's not really, I kind of want to hit that beat a little bit more. So there's something in here that there's a Keyframe Assistant. And if I select on this, on a keyframe, and two-finger click or right-click, you can go in here and you look for Keyframe Assistant. And you can see that there's ease in, ease out. And what this does is it allows things to kind of ramp in or ramp out. And I'm just going to go select, you get slightly different effects. I guess the best thing to do is, it's going to be subtle in this particular thing, but I'm going to select all of them. And here is the here is the animation with no easing. It's always moving the same speed, but if I add ease in, it's going to kind of start slow and speed up. And you can see that it's got a little arrow to indicate that now in the keyframe. Now it jumped a little because it was rendering. This is a subtle difference. We'll explore this later in another one. I do know that I want both Keyframe Assistant, easy ease, which will basically ease in and out. And I think that's going to give me a little bit more of a pause in the corners. It's subtle, but I think you can see that it's basically moving a little bit faster in the middle and slowing down towards the ends. Now, I like where that is. I think that's pretty much what I want. Now, notice I just made these first keyframes have the animation in it. And so, man, I could sit here all day and do each individual one, but I'm going to actually do exactly what I did before and do a copy paste. So if I select this, copy, my current time indicator is on my last keyframe, then I can paste it, and it will continue this. I think I have too many stops in there. Let me try that one more time. But you can see that I have too many stops, so let me get rid of that. I'll go back. There. I'm going to come in, see copy, and paste. I've got somehow I didn't get that all done. Copy. And paste. Looks like I'm doing a little error. I'm just going to get rid of those handles. But you can see that through copying and pasting, I can make this repeat over and over. I think that's it. That's good. All right. We'll stop and we'll pick this up with one more lesson.